how can AI either amplify human understanding slash harmony or fragment it further. What if you turn hardship into greatness, anger into serenity? Everything changes. Make your life a masterpiece. Welcome. How can AI either amplify human understanding, harmony, or fragment it further? This is today our quest with, again, Dr. Moazzem Hossain to discuss harmony in diversity. Specifically, again, how can AI either amplify human understanding slash harmony or fragment it further? Welcome back, Dr. Hossain, to the show, and this very important is presented by Harmony in Diversity. Welcome back. Always great to have you, Dr. Hossain. So let's start and unpack the question. Okay, how can AI amplify human understanding, harmony, or fragment it further? What is your take on AI and how can it help us to create harmony in diversity? And what are some of the setbacks potentially, if there are any?
Mr. Yanik, this is a time demanding issue we are going to discuss. In fact, I plan to discuss this matter. Initially, we will discuss how these type of technological drivers has shaped the civilization. Then we'll, in short, in brief, just to know all about this. Then we will discuss about artificial intelligence, mostly at length. Then this impact it is having, and also the fallout of all these technological drivers, and finally how to move on. Uh, this is the way we want to plan and discuss the topic. Now, if we talk that, if you see the history of civilization, in fact, the ascending development of the civilization is the the uh, disruptive ability of the new technology. If you see that as a primitive man who lived alone or then later on in group together, at that time for their survival, initially, for food, there was some natural selection that they should take fruits only. Later on, when they have first uh, they discovered or they knew the technique of making tools, uh, that also gradually changed their habit. They started hunting these animals, and they started taking their meat. And when the main driver of early civilization, I'm talking about a Neolithic civilization or a Neolithic farming society, they invented fire that revolutionized the whole of their system, including their lifestyle, food pattern. Then they gradually they invented more implements, more tools. Then that also totally changed their horizon. Then with the invention of new tools, they uh, invented and they discovered the technique of farming. Then uh, uh, from farming, when they learned farming, before that they were the hunter and gatherer society. So with the invention of fire, gradually they are transiting from hunter-gatherer to the farming communities where they domesticated animals, and also the food varieties like barley, rice, and other the crops. And then the sedentary farming community they set in just with the invention of new technology. Then with that, gradually they uh, started living in a community, and then from clan to tribe. Then the first we see the development of chiefdom. It is very important because chiefdom is uh, the precursor for the development of modern city states. So just we will not go in details about this. Just you see, with the invention of technology, gradually the from just uh, when they initially they used different types of tools. One they could invent fire. Then with the uh, making of new tools with this iron smelting and others, then ultimately it revolutionized their whole uh, society. So, but then chiefdom, from chiefdom, then it was the city estate, formation of city estate. And once this is the first stage of formation of nation state. And you can talk about that total gradual development of the uh, civilization. Now, how uh, it impacted them. So with this new technology, they invented sickles, sickles, plow, then uh, other, but this is a grinding uh, machine for grinding the these crops. So now there was a surplus of food, and the this was the first stage of the development of our civilization. It started with the farming communities, which is called this agrarian civilization, and then come the second stage. Second stage, then new technology came that you know uh, that came with the industrial revolution. There, this was okay. Then from second stage of this agriculture revolution, it came with the industrial revolution. There, size of the population was increased, and they needed more food. So then there was a demand of more yield, and that's why people invented also chemicals as a substitute of other natural uh, fertilizers. And they also invented, the advanced machineries, which you can see just to have more yields and other. And at that time, there was a total change of social, political structure. You can see with the industrial revolution. And third stage, it is almost modern. It started in 1915 and 60. That was with the biotechnology. This biotechnology, it was, complete departure from, you see, the traditional farming to a new way, because this biotechnology changes the microbiome. And you have heard the name of GM crop, genetically modified crop. Here, first time we have completely deviated from the nature, and there you will see that it has got more yield, uh, quantity is more, but uh, it has got less protein values. So, almost 60% less protein values than naturally produced crop. So, this has a side effect. We will discuss that how technology is not always good, but how much we will adopt. And this fourth stage, that it totally, And now we are using the artificial intelligence, which we are going to talk about this. Now everything has become automated. For distributing seeds, then weeding out all weeds, then even giving chemicals and everything, harvesting now, all everything, and even the prediction of crops in which season which one will be good. Here now we are using our this artificial intelligence for automated this farming. Now you see that industrial revolution, it started around 17th century, but before that, around 16th century, there were a lot of technological advancement. First with this agriculture and agriculture revolution side by side, industrial revolution was also going on at par. In fact, one is overlapping another. So another important aspect was the iron smelting. Iron, because it needed for industrial development. Then at that time, metallurgy was developed. Though it was developed earlier, around 1000 BC, but gradually all these techniques were inculcated by the people, and it also created a revolution, especially in industrial sector, and also in all other sectors. Then came the groundbreaking this invention of steam power. And the steam power, this was movable and stationary also machine, and it had a tremendous impact on versatile sector, including textile, then increase productivity by separating seeds from cotton, because at that time, that was the cotton revolution also, textile, because then they learned this power loom. Now the just like modern weaving industry, it began with the invention of steam power. Then came electricity, and electricity, it completely completely changed the scenario of the world, because it has impact on all sectors of the society, be it business, be it social, be it personal, because it had a tremendous impact on the development of society. Then, as you said in your introductory message, that printing press, this printing press, and with one technology, the other peripheral things are related. With the printing press, then people they invented paper, ink, and also eyeglass. And with this printing, then coming associated industry, and printing press was a groundbreaking discovery, because it's transmitting the ideas, documenting your past, present, and everything, and also the cultural development happens with this. And in 80s, 3D printing, uh, what it is. It has also completely changed the horizon of our thinking and development. And people, this is just a computer aided design, and mainly it revolutionized in imparting education. Just as a you can three there are technologies, and you can just produce the prototypes, and mainly people are telling that it is helping in STEM education, that is science, technology, engineering, and math. So we only know about three dimension, and you see how three dimension has changed our modern life. But there are six dimensional plane. Okay, so more yet to come. Then now just if we just summarize it, you see what were the technology that diffused all over the world? First was tools, these implements. Then came fire. Uh, it then printing press. Printing press. It came in 1440. Then steam engine 1698. Electricity. It was 1879, and computer 1946. Semiconductors 1947. 3D printing 1981. Internet 1983. AI today, and associated with AI, there is another one that is on the horizon, that is quantum computing. So already it is on the horizon, but we do not know what will be the impact of it, because this quantum computing is working on the principle of quantum physics. So if it comes, then the existing architecture will be obsolete. So it is already there. These Chinese have invented this quantum computer, and also Americans. So the Chinese one is more faster than them. Though people are telling that this is a buzzword, but this is not, to me, this is not a buzzword, because in uh, military sector, in the defense sector, the people are also talking about this, and doing all the research, that if quantum computing is in vogue, then how this system will be changed. So now we were talking about artificial intelligence. It is not yet full blown yet, though uh, uh, it started from 1950s, and there was ups and down, lot of R&D. Then from 1992s it gained momentum, and now people are in doing R&D, and also they are in play. There are a lot of data centers, and all its attributes are being utilized, and this is working now. Remember, at the same time, another technology is on the horizon. So, if you see from the beginning of our civilization, from military point of view, we see that uh, these our ancestors, they started with clay-baked sling stones, throwing with the slings or by hand. Then it came up to intercontinental ballistic missiles, then atomic bomb, then nuclear bomb and nuclear thermological bomb, and also now, drones are there. So you can see all these advancement happened due to the technology. Okay, so the technology is the main driver of the civilizations. Now,
Now, how does now the new technology, especially artificial intelligence, and we can really talk a little bit about specifically like ChatGPT and how it, on one hand, helps us to improve our lives. On the other hand, it can also cause potential big challenges in terms of harmony and our general understanding. So how does this somehow fit together, like AI, and how can it amplify human understanding and harmony, or fragment it further? So what are some of the core tenets that you would say is crucial in order to understand how we must go about it in order to amplify AI in a positive sense that really helps humanity to understand each other better and really to foster harmony?
thank you. I understand. I will answer you these questions. Just now we'll discuss some bit about AI, not in details, that people should know what it is, because this AI is very, it is groundbreaking, because it is it AI is just incorporating all the character traits or characteristics of humans. So here lies the importance. So just just a few minutes. I will give a roundabout, not in details. That uh, excuse me. There is a book, Gods and Robots, Myths, Machines, and Ancient Dreams of Technology. It is written by Adrian Mayor in 2020. It is published from Princeton University Press. He has shown that these artificial intelligence is not a new phenomenon, because he has shown mainly in ancient Greece, India, Roman, and Chinese civilization. Maybe that this is not rhetoric, because that archaeology has given a lot of evidences, because the civilization which is see today, like Pyramid of Giza or Mycenaean Greece, they those are not with given with the technological development now, we cannot develop those things. So knowledge is cyclic.
That's very
Maybe that.
important, actually, that we can never ever take progress for granted. And I think that's also what Elon Musk is saying, you know? That's what we usually think. We take it for granted. Therefore, it's really difficult as well to actually regulate it, you know, because it's nothing, it comes just, you know, for granted. So that's a really important point.
So, Mr. Mayor, he said that he just in summary in his book, he said that ancient people or ancient gods and robot, that they used artificial intelligence, biotechnique, then automated machines, self-moving devices, robots, and others. So, just we are not since this is a empirical book, and with evidences, but these are not unlikely, because we have seen the technological developments of ancient civilization, which even today we cannot imagine also. Okay, and most important part was that those technologies are diffused all over the world. The technology you see in Greece, it was in South America, it was in North America, it was in East Asia. So, those are known by the ancient peoples also. But now, just in short, the Association for Advancement of Artificial Intelligence, they define AI, since it is technological term, just I read out, as the scientific understanding of the mechanisms underlying thought and intelligent behavior and their embodiment in machines. Just uh, the nexus between scientific understanding of the mechanism of underlying thought and intelligence behavior and their embodiment in machines. So we are making a machine as a humans. Okay. Then just in short, Russell and Norwich in 2009, they have written a book, that Artificial Intelligence, a Modern Approach. They defined it very simple, and this is for our understanding. We are laymen in this technology. We are not a technocrat. They say that there are four categories, that AI is that thinking humanly, acting humanly, thinking rationally, acting rationally. These four broad categories. And thinking humanly, that it has cognitive sciences. Then acting humanly, it has got the natural languages as we interact with each other, knowledge representation, and automated reasoning. Then thinking uh, rationally, that is with logic or syllogism, that that just we in plain and simple example is that that all dogs are animals, all animals have four legs, so therefore all dogs have the four legs. So, but these are something deductive knowledge, and conclusion is drawn. But that means they are also thinking rationally and acting rationally. That means as humans, when we act, when this rational agent models is working within us. Now you see that with these four broad categories, AI is, uh, 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 you know, uh, it is just replacing humans. It is just taking all our attributes, and AI technology can be used in all spheres of life, be it agriculture, medical, spacecraft, even your leadership technique, anything you want, it can be used. So, from supply chain management to personal management, then there is a term also invented with this diffusion of this AI pervasively in all our spheres, that chatbot, and people are also using coining a new uh, terminology, that is digital slavery. Okay, Alexa, Siri, all this. In fact, AI, given with the present state of development and the way they want to, uh, infiltrate and in uh, in the society, in fact, they will not leave any space untouched. So, this is now, mm, uh, you know, now I can come to your question, which you had been asking, that how it is disrupting our harmony, how it is disrupting our whole society. You
Let's
know,
go. Let's go quickly. Just before we go to this point, I just want to draw on certain points that you made. I think what's also very important is that, and I think that's where the battle really is. I think that's where the crux is that ultimately it's a question of value. And I do not agree that actually AI can replace humans completely. One aspect that we miss is that AI can never ever replace you doing your own thinking. And that's the most important part. And that's really what Luke Ferry is arguing, who is is a professor. He's also the former French education minister. And I think that's what's really interesting. It's true that AI can mimic everything that a human does. 100%. We are 100% agreeing on that. But it can never ever fully replace the human. Why? Because once you know, let's say, that you are talking, let's say a therapist, okay, a psychotherapist, okay, and I, as a human being, I go to a psychotherapist, okay, and I realize that this psychotherapist is perfect, it's amazing, but it's AI. The very fact that I know it's I ultimately have a choice either to go and see him or not, you see? And I think that's ultimately where the choice comes in and where really our humanity will really come back. And therefore, our humanness will emerge again by the fact that we know that that's not 100% human, it's actually artificial. Even though it does and acts and thinks and feels like a human, but it can never ever take away the humanness, because ultimately the psychic activity that we project on whatever we encounter stays crucial. So, what do you think about this? Because to me, yes, it sounds very scary because it could potentially replace anything, right? I mean, with robots, for example, they can, and I think Elon Musk is actually doing at some point, like you might be able to purchase a robot like for $20,000, and he can do your gardening and whatever, right? So I'm curious what you think about this proposition and about the implications of that.
in fact, this is the moot point for contention, that whether uh, they will replace human beings or not. In fact, that will be my recommendation, that how far we will use AI, because there has to be, silver lining. Otherwise, because the technology which they're talking about, you see, it can act humanly, it can act rationally, and also with all these human attributes. And most dangerous thing that once it is programmed, it can also take independent decision, where the programmer, you do not have control of it. So it is taking its own decision like an independent human being. So
So I will
that.
just I want to ask you first a question before we answer the question, right? So how about you? If you have a choice, let's say, if you can buy, let's say, a robot who will make all your gardening or all your household work or whatever over a real human being, what would you opt for? Would you are you have you ever posed yourself this question, if you would invest in a robot who elevates some of your work or not, and give me some reasons why or why not you would actually purchase one.
It will be different from you point of view and my perception. Um, just you see, in 2000 there was an article published in Times magazine, because at that time the cell phone, it was on the horizon, and Western country they used it, though third world we just got it, but it was very costly. So there, in the concluding sentence of that article was that it has given a lot of advantages, but it has taken away the most important things, that is human mental peace. So, the industrial and technological revolution, it has given many things, but most importantly, aspect they have taken away of humankind is that is mental equilibrium or balance or harmony. Now I am coming to your point that what I would do. Here, I will just give example from a utopia written by Thomas Campanella. It was written in 1602 AD. It is just about a captain. He was roaming the whole world, and he was having dialogue with someone, and he went up to a city that is called the City of the Sun, and how it is governed. Hopefully, in our next episode, we will discuss about this utopia, dystopia, and other things. But here, just in short, uh, there. This city was built and their life was governed with the natural order and with the with the wisdom and knowledge and love. And there there was no slavery. Okay. And everybody used to do their own work till their literacy they can do. And uh, they are having a lot of play to build their body, but they didn't you know uh, they discarded all these games, chess and other things which are being played by sitting, because it doesn't have physical exercise. Here, why I'm talking about this, because with the technological advantage and advancement, one thing probably we have not analyzed, that is cost benefit analysis, that with technology and its peripheral these the peripheral or collateral damage. Now you have the lift. Now, just a layman language. Once there is a lift, now you use it. You don't walk. Now it is giving rise of diabetics. And now for this R&D of diabetics and other these disease and these mental disease, this all these issues, how much money we are investing? We are earning how much earning with this new technology, and how much also we are using for this diffusion of this disease. This was never done. Maybe that there is unholy alliances or convergences with all these corporate peoples for doing business about this. I'll go with the idea of Mr. Campanello. He conceived in the 16th century. You see, he's from Italy. He was giving the example of Naples. That was telling that there are 70,000 people in Naples, only 15,000 works, just like modern day 0.1% people, and rest are slave in such a way because they are doing all these personal uh, work of others for their survival. So here, instead of that you are asking robot or others, in fact, I would invest in such a way that at present it is not AI, it is not robot, it is not other things. Right at this moment, half of the population is unfed. That means half of the population is not being full blooming with the possibility because of food. These kids are, they are divested from the proteins. So if we could not invented the system that these all humans are blooming with full human possibility, then what you are going to do with all these machines? Which one is important? The amount of money people are spending on this artificial intelligence and other things, just 1% of this money, if they deviate for developing the humans, then world would be totally different. Now, if you are asking for these robots and human, definitely I would take humans uh, because I believe in on thing that the system, in fact, the day we have deviated from the nature and natural order, that day, these negative things started happening to us. So, since I am a believer of nature and natural order, so I will go with the humans. At least if 1 or 2% remains with me, at least I will be able to, help them uh, blooming with full possibility. It is not that he or she is working for me. At least they all will be, my friends, or they are our families. So, you see now, with these, if we have this change of attitudes, in fact, now here, these all these making robots and other things, and you want to do things very fast, and divesting of human touch, how it is going to help us? Then helping on life to helping others. But don't you think that this is a great disaster for humankind? Because we are not taking care of humans, we are making machines. So if you want that that day, I have said, given you the United Nations World Health Organization statistics, that now is the pandemic of mental illness, that by 2060 it will be the pandemic of suicide. It is bound to be, because we are becoming machines, and we are deviated from philosophy, literatures, fellow feelings, and other things. We are becoming a satellite by our own right. uh, we are becoming too much individualistic. But yes, this technology, it has some advantages. How far we will take that, that is debatable. And regarding AI, the potential, how much potential it has to become the GPT, that means general purpose technology, that is also debatable. Internet has become GPT, then computer has become GPT, and electricity also become GPT, because now when it has come to our life, we even do not know. But the how these whether artificial intelligence still in infancy, that then we need to see how far it can influence to our life. But at present, the direction it is giving, it is just to offset the human level. People are it's in my understanding that Western country, they have their fertility rate of their woman is negative. and that's why to offset this, they want to uh, uh, replace humans with these robots with artificial intelligence. And definitely, it is. With our present perception, we cannot say that. Yeah, given with our intelligence, we can say it is not going to work because my understanding that if we deviate from the nature, this system has tremendous fallout. But mm, I told you earlier also that Sri Aurobindo, he was telling that human evolution is not yet completed. But once it completes, then there will be new species. Okay. So you see that our evolution is declining. So now maybe that we are getting new species as a machine. That's why probably scientists they want to create uh, uh, machine humans. So you got your answer that I would definitely I would take. It has given many advantages, especially in West. I have seen for farming because in Germany, first I was experienced with two things. I went to a farm, a cattle farm. I find that cattle are standing in a certain place. They have a computer chips. They are standing and the foods are coming and they are taking their food. And also the the lands, this cultivation. One person is just stealing the lands, huge lands. Yes, they have the less people, and if I would be tasked to become the this farmer alone, I am just across the land I am farming. That is also not good. Okay,
Yeah,
because
I fully agree. Now let's dive into it. Now we have seen, of course, there are a lot of good things, a lot of also potential bad things that can come. So now, what do we have to do as a species, as individuals, to decrease the potential of negative effects on humanity? So, what is one of your first steps that we gotta get clear in order to embrace, on one hand, artificial intelligence because it improves our lives, but on the other hand, also minimize the potential risk they entail?
okay, that Albert Einstein, he said that technology will create a generation of idiots. Okay, it is not me. It is the saying of Albert Einstein, and people will become isolated from one another. And once I saw his quote, and I find that people are sitting in a restaurant, and everybody is using talking of with their smartphone. And same thing, Noam Chomsky talked about ChatGPT, that it will create a generation of idiots. Eh, In fact, I have seen, I have not tested much about ChatGPT and AI driven things, but I have seen the summary they are giving, the things, those are not, you can talk. Nowadays, people, the way they want to see that they know everything. So, artificial, this ChatGPT or AI, using AI, you are making some summary, but there are some flesh, but not full meat, not whole meat there, I have seen. And, if you want to read a book, uh, if you do not read word by word, because this is the author, he has written each and every word has a meaning. But you will not to go for that. Then do you think that we are going on a right direction? Uh,
100%.
it's not. Now, these
But just
instant.
let's just quickly go into that. I mean, it one thing is for sure that ChatGPT, especially 5, the version, is like much better than no human being can ever, get to that knowledge base, because it literally goes through all the knowledge that has ever existed, right? And just it gives you basically the perfect answers. So there's no question anymore that it outperforms by large. Like, there's no way, humans, obviously. Now, but I agree with you that that's one of the problems. And as Albert Einstein, as you mentioned, right, said that it really will produce idiots, especially if it's used unintentionally. In other words, if you stop reading books, actually, because we know what it does, right? The process of reading a book than just looking up information, that's very different from the two. So, how would you approach this whole game, and what would you recommend to people in order for them to actually create more harmony within, but also outside them, to improve their existence, but also others' existence in a age of AI, which is on one hand a blessing, on one hand it can be absolutely a curse. And we see it already when people are not educated, when people are just following their intuition, then what it produces is simply nature, right? But consciousness, really, what consciousness is ultimately looking for is expression in culture, right? And so that is a very important point, I think, what you just mentioned, that it will literally produce idiots. So, how do we avoid producing idiots?
this is this is the answer which definitely I wanted to give at the last, because I know you will ask this, that whether uh, we will use AI or not. Definitely we are going to use it. And just before that, I'm just giving just a few things that which we have not discussed regarding AI. That AI data center, the AI data center, the technology they uses, it uses huge energy. And just I've seen recently, just day before yesterday, I read an article in a renowned newspaper that AI industry, they're projecting that surge from 460 terawatt hours in 2024 to 1000 terawatt hour in 2030, and 1300 terawatt hour in 2035. Just in short, that it is 25% of more electricity which we are using now.
Yeah, it is. A Google search is basically
So
10 times less energy consuming than a ChatGPT search, right? Which makes sense,
no,
right?
I'm I'm talking about this potential source of energy. Okay, so
Exactly. That is the reason why we don't have yet quantum computing, actually, because
yes,
we are
so
not yet able to actually cool it down.
now already people started to complain about these clouds and AI data center in West, maybe in Canada, I do not know, but in America, I know that they have already, there are a lot of lawsuits. Uh, they are complaining about noise, air pollution, and uh, uh, they are also complaining that it might causes water shortage and heat up the environment. This is just recent from America. Just people, those who are living closer to the AI, these clouds and AI data center. So,
But would you,
but
just quickly to this, would you agree that these are only scientific problems? They are solvable in terms of, at some point we will
uh,
have,
you
you
might,
know, the ability to converge like
yeah,
energy
yeah, but
to
you might
electricity in a very effective,
no, Mr.
efficient way.
Yanik, you might talk about this. This is not really scientific. Energy is not really scientific issues. This is, related with humankind, because people will not, the more amount of energy they need, they will go for alternative source. Thereby, they will destroy the environment. They will destroy the climate. Its collateral effect will be huge. That's why I told you that the amount of money spent on this AI, or then whether this collateral damage in all considering all purview, this climate, the nature, then you know it is destabilizing many things. So which fuel you are going to use now? These
But
uh,
just quickly, one thing is very important because we know now, in terms of scientific, in 50 years or so, we will be probably sustainable energy, that we can really get it from the sun and somehow convert it. I think these are scientific problems. In other words, at some point we can actually produce the power and then convert it in electricity in a sustainable way. So this is really scientists that say that. I think that is not really the problem. I think the problem is, of course, the transition, right, from now where it's so consuming and it pollutes, to the point where we actually can produce sustainable energy, right, that is really life-giving and that everyone really can tap into that, right? I think that when we look at the potential, especially exponential growth of all these technologies, and that it also becomes more and more sustainable, I think in the future that is not a problem anymore, let's say 50, 100 years. But I think what's the big issue, what's the big question is what it does to us, right? If we do not teach ourselves how to actually deal with AI in a positive manner, right? As you were mentioning, right? If we are not able to live with one another right now peacefully, right? How can we ever expect that we might be able to live peacefully while having even more actors such as, artificial, robots or whatever? You know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you. But I disagree with your recommendation that within 50 years this energy issue will be solved. It is never going to be solved. It is never going to be solved once there people are now exploring, Antarctica, these uh, uh, in inside sea, and also rare earths for these. But this processing of rare earth is not that easy. Once you want to acquire energy through these, then you are destroying this planet Earth in such a way, because that is not irreparable. So this energy issue is not that easy to solve. If we, for these technological developments, if we want to just solve one issue, that is this energy, that is going to destabilize our this planet Earth. You will see that it will destabilize climate. It will destabilize environment, and with lot of the species and others. However, you know, since it is on the horizon, people will they will uh, uh, incorporate it in many uh, sectors. But the way they want to use it in a massive scale, I don't know how far it is going to be adopted. That's why I said that whether artificial intelligence will be GPT, that is a debatable, and it's a question for future, that how far it will impact our uh, uh, community, because it need to be penetrated in your personal life, in your community, and every places. But you see, once it is there, then it needs less people, many things, these human beings, but they will also lose many work. Then what is the alternative to that? Here, the first thing which definitely uh, uh, now, if uh, human accept this technology, then uh, the way till now from this civilizational development as a through evolutional memories of development we came. It has got a balanced pattern, but it will destroy because we will not have that human to human interactions, but it will be very less because people will they will talk with GPT, or they are not going to discuss anyone, as you say that chat GPT 5, whatever advancement it has, but it will never have that you know advantage. Once I asked Mr. Yanik that mm, I read this. Did you know about this, or what will be this, or where from I can get the sources? Uh, you will see the way you will be, you are interacting with others, and this interaction is that part and parcel of humankind. But it will go. You will have interaction with machines only. Definitely, the Chat GPT or what to talk about Chat GPT. It has got advanced version. But if you ask me, with the Google and internet, the amount of this not only this false information, but the amount of original source I am getting, that is huge, which is you cannot read or in your whole life. So, but there I am getting the original source, and ChatGPT, it will give you a summarized one, and definitely, I am afraid that we will be, you know, uh, we are being programmed to see world in a different way. Uh, in a that is the great danger for our humankind, because the way we think, or the way Ethiopian people are they are thinking that they are not going to do that let us bloom all at par. They will not do it. Who are the protagonists of this technology? And definitely there will be civilization will go on, but with less humans, more machine. And here definitely there will not be any harmony. There will not be mental equilibrium or balance. It is not going to be there, because you are only always interacting with machines. So you are becoming machines. You do not know philosophy. You do not know literature. Uh, you do not know these co-curricular activities or other things. You will also play in games, not in physical, because you will have interaction with only with these machines. So, but one thing, uh, please don't misunderstand me that I also don't suffer from ostrich syndrome. That once technology is in the horizon, we must also use it. But here we need to weigh out how far we will do that, because still now the technology which we are using, it is balanced. So far, it is not. It is advancement to our civilization and humankind, not that detrimental or threat to the humankind. But AI, these its use, which they're just multiplying the present system. Those are good, but if people want to um, replace it with humans, and because all these four broad categories which we are talking about, this thinking humanly, acting humanly, thinking rationally, acting rationally, and also acting independent of these AI robots and others. So these are very dangerous things for our human. But otherwise, its potential is also going to change our society, and that's why I'm talking about one point, that side by side we must see, uh, you know, uh, where uh, whether things is benefits and its collateral damage, which is going to be on our climate, environment, and above all our society. And that's why there has to be a balanced approach. But I am not against any technology, because technology, even if I'm against it, but since this has come, definitely um, uh, it will have a disruptive impact, and if it can succeed, then it will remain. Otherwise, it will not. But
Yeah. So what do you think? Do you think it ultimately it also can basically amplify our humanness because it can actually bring us back to the very roots and that are real human and genuine connections?
please, can you repeat? So,
Do you also think that AI can potentially be a vessel to bring us back to each other and to really see the value of real, genuine, and deep human connections?
uh, I told you in many talks that the black swan moment, that is, people, they didn't believe that is that swan can be black, because we till it was invented in Australia. But uh, you see, we thought, did we ever think about this so much of technological advancement, like internet, IoT, and other things? And uh, artificial intelligence, till these are being used as a force multiplier of existing system, uh, it is going to sustain, not sustain, it is going to do very good. Here, one thing I differ from one word, that is sustainable. Sustainable, there is nothing sustainable. If everything is sustainable, then the world would not progress. Okay, and nothing is sustainable, because this is not the nature of any material or anything. Okay, because if I made a system that is sustainable, then you know world would not progress. We can say that it is sustainable up to a certain time. But your perception and your thinking, this is utopian thinking, and I do support it. And once this we explore this full potentials of the AI, then people will also be inward looking, thinking that what we are doing. Because this is human tendency. What you like, I may not like it. You asked me question that whether I will use robot or I will use humans. Definitely, I'm going to use humans, and you're telling you will use robot, because you have your own perception. I have my perception. So at that time, there will be a lot of contradiction, because people will see that people are dying unfit, people are dying maltreated. So people are dying half fit, because here the consideration for fellow human beings, that is missing. Because the so um, I'm not sure that how it is going to unfold in the horizon. But one point is certain, that if it unfolds the way it want, that these four broad categories of attributes, just like humans, that is going to create anarchy. And it is those who all are using this, they will also not live well. Definitely that they will not live well. And I can tell you this much, because our these genetic memories is not like this way that we'll become machine, we'll have in love with machine. So I don't know, but then we need to wait, uh, because with this technological advancement, there are a lot of disruption in harmony, and a lot of disruption in our mental equilibrium or balance, because we do not go to the nature. And
Exactly.
when,
And that's also your point, right? I mean, to some extent, you're absolutely right. On the other hand, and that's what dialectics is, right? And that's what you're mentioning, right? There's no thing that is completely sustainable because it's changing. It needs to change so that we can progress, and that's really what we see also in the dialectical, you know,
Mm,
process, right? That, but overall, bottom line is that for now, you would say that it is a disruptor. It is disruptor for harmony in diversity, you would say.
yeah, 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 it is. But as I said, that these potentials of these artificial intelligence and force multiplier of present system is good. So that can be used. Otherwise, the way people want to incorporate it, uh, at present state of our thinking, uh, that is going to be a threat for our humankind. Okay, because our traditional values will be disappearing. These moralities will be, you will also see, but that will also not be there. Everybody will be living in isolation.
And
Just with
this is precisely the point I think that you are making, is that it has to bring us back to our very focus, and that's we have to figure out what are our real values, and from that we can build a foundation in which we can actually navigate and live side by side with AI in a constructive and complementary way, I would say. And we have to go back to our values, right? Our core values that makes us humans.
yeah, then exactly. That is my point, that I wanted to tell you, because uh, we need to go back to our original state. Uh, that is the pathway for our humankind as a race. Otherwise, these technological advantages has given us lot of advantage, but the fallout which we never estimate. We Technology also makes us selfish, and we have the, as I said earlier, because but one thing, you cannot live uh, without connection with other humans, because sometimes you are not, you and me are not that superhuman that we have uh, the clarity of perception, and we know things as it is. We have emotions. We need to. We have pain. We have sorrows. The pain and sorrows. These are our own creation. There is no doubt about it. Even then, but you need to share with others. Once you share that, then how you will get this consolation to move on. That's why the mental illness and suicide cases increasing. Can these artificial intelligence solve this issue? These Alexa or Siri, the way they talk, I don't know. You Western country, you people are mostly used with this, but whatever advancement it has, can it replace the human touch? The things which even we need. Above all, these cognitive dissonance which it will impart, that will, tear up our humanity and human civilization. This is my view. Maybe that is
Great.
extreme, but I make myself clear that I don't suffer from ostrich syndrome, that the technology is coming and I, I am not going to embrace its good things. We must, but as a as a force multiplier of present system, we can do it, but in a measured way that we need to think. And this is my appeal to the world community and to everybody, that we must invest more on the development of humans, so that they can have the money, they can have the scope for blooming with full possibility. At
Beautiful.
least the
Beautiful.
kids, they cannot take food. They are having so if they are given the required quantity of protein and food, but they will be blooming properly. And if you can
Absolutely.
develop this human wealth, and that is required, because then they will give good ideas and other things. Otherwise, if I just want to go one direction and neglecting the uh, most part of the human civilization, if you see that this is at present half of the population, if it is unfed, then should you not ask question to yourself that why, what will what we'll do with all this technological advancement and everything, if we cannot
Absolutely.
help
Absolutely.
uh, people to live.
Dr. Moazzem Hossain, this was wonderful. How can AI either amplify human understanding, harmony, or fragment it further? And I think you gave a beautiful answer to it. It's not easy, there's a lot of work that we have to do, but thank you so much for this wonderful explanation. I think it truly is enlightening. Dr. Moazzem Hossein. That's why knowledge matters. Make your life a masterpiece. Visit now programs.the-ykm.com. Meant to